So, by now you've seen why Dubai stands out on the global investment app. In episode 1, we explored the bigger picture, from Dubai's Vision 2040 and Economic Agenda D33 to its world-class infrastructure, lifestyle, educational system, and how it compares to top cities like London or Singapore when it comes to value for money and growth potential. Then in episode 2, we've got practical. We talked through the different ways to buy property in Dubai, whether it's a ready or off-plan, from a developer or a private owner, and broke down step-by-step process, including how the mortgages work for international buyers. And now in episode 3, we are moving one step further into the part that most investors overlook, the legal side of ownership. What does it really mean to own property in Dubai? What are your rights if a project gets delayed? How do escrow accounts protect your money? And when it comes to inheritance, visas, or even selling the property later, what do you need to know to stay protected and in control? And if you haven't seen episodes 1 and 2 yet, I highly recommend checking them out first. The links are right above in this video. Watching them will give you the full picture and help you follow this guide from start to finish like a true investor. Let's dive in and make sure you're not just buying smart, but owning smart too. Is property in Dubai freehold? And what's the difference between freehold and leasehold ownership? Freehold means you fully own property. There is no expiration date, no lease renewal, and no restrictions on resale or inheritance. You have full control over the asset, whether you want to live in it, rent it out, or pass it down to your family. Until 2002, foreigners could not fully own property in Dubai. They could only lease it for a fixed period. However, everything changed when Dubai passed Law Number 7 of 2006, allowing international investors to own freehold property in designated areas. This policy transformed the real estate sector, attracting investors from around the world. Today, more than 80% of Dubai's prime real estate is freehold. Some of the most popular freehold zones in Dubai include Dubai Marina, downtown Dubai, Palm Jumeirah, Emaar Beachfront, Dubai Creek Harbor, Rashid Yassin Marina, Dubai Maritime City, and many more. These areas have been officially designated by the government to allow full foreigner ownership, with properties registered directly under the buyer's name through the Dubai Land Department. Whereas leasehold means you lease the property from the developer or a private landlord for a fixed period, typically ranging from 10 to 99 years. You do not own the land. Instead, you hold the right to use the property for the agreed lease term. Once the lease expires, ownership reverts to the original landlord, often the government or the UAE nationals. Some of the most popular leasehold areas in Dubai is Deira, Karama, Bur Dubai, Mirdif, and Jumeirah, some of the older communities. In these areas, properties are typically only available for UAE own. When buying an off-plan property, another biggest concern is, how do I know my investment is safe? What if the developer doesn't complete the project? Dubai has a strict regulation in place to protect buyers. And that's where RERA, the Real Estate Regulatory Agency, plays a crucial role. How does RERA ensure project completion? To sell an off-plan property, developers in Dubai must meet several conditions. They cannot just announce the project and start collecting payments. There are legal safeguards in place. First, full land ownership. The developer must own 100% of the land where the project is being built. This ensures they have a tangible asset backing the development. Second, they must demonstrate financial commitment via escrow account before selling units. That means that developer must deposit at least 20% of the project's total cost into a RERA-approved escrow account before any units can be sold. This demonstrates the developer's financial stability and commitment, using their own capital rather than relying solely on buyer payments. Third, project must be fully approved by Dubai Land Department, including the master plan, building blocks, unit sizes, views, and overall layouts. This ensures that the project meets all planning and regulatory standards before launch. Fourth, the project must also obtain a full set of approvals from key government authorities such as DIVA, Dubai Municipality, and RTA. These approvals confirm that the development has access to essential infrastructure, including electricity, water, roads, and public services, ensuring it's fully equipped for future residents or investors. Only after fulfilling all these conditions, developer can legally begin selling off-plan properties in Dubai. So now let's see what is an escrow account and how does it protect you. An escrow account is a secure bank account that holds the money buyers pay for off-plan properties. But here is the most important part. The developer cannot access the full amount immediately. Instead, the money is released in phases based on construction progress. For example, when 30% of the project is completed, only then will a portion of the funds be released. This ensures that developers cannot take the money and walk away, reducing the risk of abandoned projects. What if the project is delayed? Construction delays can happen, but there are guidelines around this as well. Developers are given a grace period to extend the completion date without facing penalties. Typically, this extension is between 6 to 12 months, depending on the contract terms. For example, if a project was supposed to be handed over in December 2025 but faces unavoidable construction delays, the developer may extend it to mid-2026 without legal consequences. However, if the project is delayed beyond the agreed-upon grace period, buyers may have legal grounds to claim compensation or even refund, depending on RERA's assessment. The off-plan market in Dubai is well regulated, and these safeguards are in place to protect investors. Whether it's an escrow account, financial guarantees, or construction milestones, these are multiple layers of security, ensuring that your investment is protected. One of the common questions I get from clients is about property insurance in Dubai. Things like, is it mandatory? Can I get it during construction? What kind of insurance do I need as an investor? Where do I get it? And how much does it cost? So let me give you a general overview. First of all, property insurance isn't legally mandatory in Dubai if you own the property outright. However, if you're financing your unit with a mortgage, then the bank will usually require basic building insurance for the duration of the loan. That's standard in most mortgage agreements. Now, if you're purchasing an off-plan property, you don't need to worry about insurance during the construction phase. The developer is responsible for insuring the project during that period through what's called construction all-risk insurance, which covers things like fire, structural damage, and third-party liability until handover. Once the property is handed over, insurance becomes optional, but definitely something worth considering. There are different types of policies available, depending on what you're looking to cover. The building structure itself, the contents if it's furnished, and even liability if you're renting it out. You can get property insurance through many well-known providers in UAE, like AXA, Orient, or Oman Insurance, or even compare rates through platforms like Policy Bazaar or Souk Al-Mal. Pricing varies based on the size and value of the property, but in general, annual premiums start from around 1,000 dirhams for a standard apartment. And those who own multiple properties or planning to buy a portfolio in Dubai, I would recommend insuring the properties, just to be in a safe side. It offers peace of mind, especially when you're managing asset long-term. And now let's talk how does inheritance work in Dubai. If you own real estate here, what happens if you pass away? Who gets the property and what are the legal process involved? Imagine this, you are an investor who owns beautiful 2-bedroom apartment in Dubai Creek Harbor, value at 3 million dirhams. You've been earning rental income of 200,000 dirhams per year. And you plan to pass this asset to your children. But what happens in the unfortunate event of your passing? Does Dubai have a standard inheritance law? The answer is yes, but it's different from what many international investors might expect. In Dubai, inheritance follows Sharia law by default, which means assets are distributed according to Islamic principles unless you have made specific legal agreements. So how does Sharia law affect property inheritance? Under Sharia law, property does not automatically transfer to a spouse. Instead, it's divided among the legal heirs, which could include children, parents, and siblings. For example, if a male property owner passes away, his wife may receive 1/8 of the estate, while the rest is distributed among his children and other family members. This can sometimes lead to unexpected complications, especially for expats who may want full ownership to pass to their spouse or children. So in this case, how can expats protect their property? If you are a non-Muslim property owner in Dubai, you have the option to legally secure your assets through registering the will with DIFC courts, an independent common law judicial system based in Dubai. They operate in English and follow an international legal framework similar to those in the UK and other common law jurisdictions. This is a special legal system that allows foreigners to clearly state who should inherit their property. It's fully legal, recognized, and prevents local inheritance laws from applying to your case. The cost for this is usually between 10 to 15,000 dirhams, depending on whether it's just for you or a joint mirror will with your spouse. It gives you total peace of mind, and everything will go smoothly if anything happens in the future. Then there is joint ownership option. You can also buy the property together with someone, your spouse or a partner, under joint ownership. Now, this is important. If you want the property to go directly to the other person after one of you passes away, you need to set it up that way from the beginning. If that's not clearly written in your ownership documents, then the share of the person who passed away may still go through legal procedures and not automatically to the co-owner. Setting up a holding company. Another option some investors go for, especially those buying multiple properties, is putting everything under the UAE-based company, for example, in JAFSA, Jebel Ali Free Zone Authority. This way, the company owns the properties while you maintain full control. It also makes inheritance and the transfer of ownership to your heirs much simpler, especially if you're thinking long-term or planning to expand your portfolio. Now, why all this matters? Because if you don't have a proper plan, even something simple like transferring property to your kids or spouse could take months or even years and come with legal complications. So if you're planning to invest seriously in Dubai or you're buying multiple properties, it's really worth having everything sorted in advance. It's not just about the investment, it's about protecting your family and your future. And of course, before taking any legal step, it's always best to consult with a qualified lawyer who can guide you properly and make sure everything is done according to your wishes and UAE laws. Another question is, do I get the visa if I buy property in Dubai? Yes, buying property in Dubai can give you access to residency visa, but there are specific requirements and criteria to consider based on the value of the property you're purchasing. So, number one, 2-year investor visa. If you purchase property worth 750,000 dirhams or around $204,000 or more, you're eligible to apply for a 2-year real estate investor visa. This visa allows you to stay in the UAE and manage your investment, but it is typically valid for 2 years and can be renewed if the property is still in your name. For higher value investments, Dubai offers the Golden Visa, which is valid for 10 years. To be eligible for this visa, you must purchase property worth 2 million dirhams or around $545,000 or more. This long-term visa gives you the right to live, work, and even sponsor family members in the UAE. For example, if you decide to invest in luxurious property in Maritime City worth around 3 million dirhams, you would qualify for this visa. The best part is that the visa is valid for 10 years, providing a stable residency option for investors. If you're over 55 years old, you may also qualify for a 5-year retirement visa by investing in property worth 1 million dirhams or around $272,000. This visa is a great option for those looking to retire in Dubai while enjoying the benefits of its luxury lifestyle and tax advantages. The 5-year retirement visa offers peace of mind and allows retirees to stay in Dubai without the need for continuous renewals. The process is relatively simple. Once you purchase the property and meet the age requirement, you can apply for the visa. With the visa in hand, you can start enjoying the full range of residency privilege. You can open a local bank account, collect your rental income directly in dirhams, and use your UAE card anywhere in the world. You can also sponsor your family members, so your spouse and kids can live, study, or visit whenever they want. And if you're planning to stay longer or build a base here, you can even sponsor household stuff like a maid or a driver. But beyond that, having residency gives you something even more valuable, a stable legal foothold in the UAE. It makes everything easier down the line. Property registrations, future purchases, sales, even mortgage approvals, they all become smoother when you're no longer seen as just a foreigner buyer. Banks and government departments recognize your residency status, and it opens the door to expanding your investment portfolio across different emirates. It also gives you a smart plan B, a second home in a city that's safe, tax-friendly, visa-flexible, and globally connected. Whether you're living here full-time or just visiting a few times a year, you're not on the outside anymore. You're part of it. And now let's talk about visa processes for off-plan properties. Here is an exciting development for those purchasing off-plan properties. You can apply for your investor visa even if the property is still under construction. This is a game changer for foreigner investors because traditionally you had to wait until the property was fully completed and fully paid. However, keep in mind that visa eligibility is always revived on case-by-case basis. That said, as a general guideline, once you paid at least 30% of your property value and the 4% Dubai Land Department transfer fee, you can apply for your Dubai investor visa. For example, let's say you purchased the property in Maritime City with a total value of 3 million dirhams. If you already paid 900,000, which is 30% of the property price, and 120,000 dirhams as the 4% Dubai Land Department fees, you've paid a total of 1,020,000 dirhams, which makes you eligible to apply for the investor visa in most cases. But remember, it's not automatic. Every case is revived individually. So at the end, make sure to check with your developer and the agent you bought the property from. They will guide you and let you know if you're eligible or not. So the next question you might be thinking could be, what happens to my visa if I sell my property? Will it be cancelled? So imagine you own property in Dubai worth more than 1 million dirhams, and through that you have a 2-year renewable investor visa. Now you're planning to sell your property, but you're unsure what will happen to your visa. Let's explore possible outcomes. If you sell your property and don't reinvest in another one, your visa will be cancelled. Since the investor visa is directly tied to property ownership, once the property is sold and transferred to a new owner, you no longer meet the eligibility criteria. However, you won't have to leave immediately. The UAE provides a 30-day grace period after visa cancellation, allowing you some time to either exit the country or apply for a different type of visa. Now, let's say you're selling your current property but purchasing another one. If your new property is worth at least 750,000, you can reapply for an investor visa based on that new purchase. To avoid any complications, it's best to start the visa application process for the new property before the existing visa is cancelled. The application process is handled through Dubai Land Department or an authorized visa processing center, and once approved, your visa will be linked to your latest property investment. However, if you own multiple properties that collectively exceeded 2 million dirhams and your visa is based on this combined investment, selling one property won't impact your visa status as long as the remaining properties still meet 2 million dirhams threshold. This flexibility is especially beneficial for investors who hold the golden visa through multiple assets, as it allows you to adjust your portfolio without losing your residency rights in Dubai. Before making any decision, it's always a good idea to consult a real estate expert or visa consultant. This ensures that your visa transition happens smoothly and that you don't face any unexpected travel or residency issues. If you're planning to reinvest, timing your sale and purchase properly will help avoid any disruptions to your residency status. And that wraps up episode 3. Now you have a clear understanding of what it means to legally own property in Dubai, your rights, your responsibilities, and the process that protects you as an investor. In the final episode, we will bring it all together. I will break down what's really happening in the market right now, whether Dubai real estate is in a bubble or simply evolving, and what strategy actually works in 2025. If you want to invest smart and not just follow the hype, episode 4 is a must-watch.